So I'm going to be talking about the Alicia Navarro case. For those of you that don't know, that aren't following it, that aren't borderline obsessed with the Alicia Navarro case like I am, I'm going to just catch you up real quick. So basically, this case is about a little girl who at the age of 14 went missing, was believed to be kidnapped by a potential predator, human trafficker type girl who at the age of 14 went missing, was believed to be kidnapped by a potential predator, human trafficker type situation. The person was believed to have left voluntarily, but essentially been groomed and lured online potentially, and who left out of their bedroom window, if I remember correctly, went with a person they'd come to know online some way, somehow, and possibly met before, possibly, and disappeared, never to be seen again until the last 24 hours. The mother, Alicia Navarro's mother, has done everything she could to really keep the story alive, and she's done a superior job. I don't even know how she's done it because she has other children in the home. She's since moved from Arizona, where she lived, to a different state, evidently. And she had billboards put up that she was able to get publicly funded. It looked like through donation campaigns, stuff like that. She also has a TikTok account on here, and she has other social media accounts. Facebook was one of them, and on and on and on. Well, anyways, 4 years later, this girl shows back up at a tiny Montana police station, 1,000 miles from where she originally disappeared and about 40 miles from the Canadian border. And I learned about this case about 2 years ago when I was traveling across state lines, relocating once again because of the military. And I really was disturbed by the case. Any case with missing people, especially children, I find to be disturbing. But this one in particular was really, really just bothersome to me. So now, 4 years later, approximately, she's 18 years old and she shows up out of nowhere at a tiny Montana police station stating that she wants to be taken off the missing person list. And I have a lot of different issues with this whole scenario. I'm going to kind of go through them one by one. So she's saying, and there's so many things I have an issue with. Okay, so for starters, everyone in the news media keeps saying, oh, well, she's safe. She's safe. That's the word they keep using. All right, well, there's different types of safety. And just because someone's alive and breathing with a pulse doesn't mean they're safe. So I'm really not buying that at all. The second thing is the timing, the fact that she's of legal age and now all of a sudden she's showing up out of nowhere to be specifically asking to be taken off the missing persons list is to me really sketchy. I feel like somebody put her up to this. I feel like there was a strategy behind it. And I feel like because of all the news media that she's gotten, she was a higher risk and higher potential liability. And I also feel like that whoever is behind this, because I do think that there is adults, I think personally there's adults behind this, that are engaging in some kind of illegal activity, that they wanted basically her name to be cleared so then they could go ahead and continue on doing whatever they wanted to do with her, and that she could just disappear at 18, no longer be considered a missing person, and then just move forward indefinitely with these individuals. No one has mentioned whether or not, a family member could have kidnapped her. No one seems to believe that. It was believed early on this was some kind of human trafficking, child predator situation. And it really, for anyone that's concerned about child safety, internet safety, and human trafficking, it's something to be concerned with. I'm really tired, too, of this whole topic of people saying, like, oh, they don't owe you any explanation in a situation like this where someone shows back up after they've been missing for however long. I disagree with that. When it's a matter of the public interest, like this case in internet and child safety, and public safety, I think that an explanation is owed about what the heck happened to this person and whether or not, other people are at risk, potentially other families, other children, and what can be done to protect people from these types of situations. There are plenty of children that go missing every single day that are runaways that end up being exploited and being taken advantage of in illegal criminal activity. She may be one of those children. Even if she ran away, even if she's trying to get away from something at home, doesn't mean that she couldn't have been taken advantage of. And some other things that bother me too is like they were saying like, oh, by all accounts, she voluntarily left and willingly left her home. Well, a 5-year-old can walk away with an adult and a stranger not be screaming and kicking, and they still have been kidnapped. So, like, I still, in my mind, believe that she was kidnapped. That's what I believe. That's my opinion. And I really think that she was coached up to go in and be like, I want my name taken off the missing persons list. It's like, well, how would she even know about that? And all these other things too. It doesn't make sense. She was wearing braces when she went missing, and now those braces are no longer there. Who took off her braces? I mean, this child was not independently wealthy. So someone was feeding her so she'd stay alive, housing her so she'd stay alive, took off her braces somehow. That had to have involved more than one adult. I mean, that's like an orthodontist job right there. And I like I hope that they have somebody's taking a blood test on this girl, this young woman, to see does she have any drugs in her system. If you take a hair test, you can see if you've had drugs in your system for God only knows how long. And I'd like to know, has someone been giving her drugs? And they did this bizarre proof of life type video, which I could have lived without. FaceTime, the police did to show that her answers, I really thought that was inappropriate. You want to talk about privacy? They shouldn't have released that, in my opinion. They could have kept that to themselves, because I'm not convinced with what she said. She looked really disoriented. She didn't look like she was sober to me. She looked like, I mean, to me, she could have easily been coerced into saying, oh, no one has ever harmed me. I'm fine. I'm safe. Everything's great. I'm happy. Whatever. Like, I just don't buy any of this. And so they said in the news press conference that they continue investigating this and looking into, like, hopefully they will continue investigating it, because I would like to know, how did she end up in Montana? Where has she been for 4 years? Who has she been with? Where is she living? And can someone please do a blood and a hair test on this girl, because I'd like to know what was in her system and if something with some kind of drugs were given to her. So I'm not buying this. What do you think? Are you buying this? The storylines? I'm not buying the storyline. And I think that they're really selling it and making it sound way too peachy keen. So, what do you think?